Hey team, we've got some post-market movers. We had a few of these moving right before the market close, and I just want to go over a few levels for in case we get some action tomorrow morning in the pre-market. So NCPL is one of those stocks that we're moving towards the end of the day. We can see that the bulk of its move, this was the pre-market from this morning, and this was in the blue is the aftermarket. We can see the bulk of this move really happened the second half of the day, really from 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. on, and really didn't start getting that volume until we see these candles right here, these yellow candles, showing a little bit of volume around 3:43 p.m. in the afternoon. So it was a pretty late move on NCPL. It started to grind up. We got some breakout volume there. We had a bullish vertical trend, a retrace. We had some pink major red candles, right? Those are major red candles to be aware of. So it was pretty choppy, and we can expect that this being a cheapo, and I didn't believe that there was any news, or I don't believe there was any news on this one. Started pretty cheap. The low a couple days ago was 83 cents. The high today in the aftermarket was 224. So a major move. Let's go over the levels that I have on this one. Now it looks like a mess, but again, we have very little volume right now to work with. So until we get volume, they won't really come into play until after that. We did get above the resistance up here at that 209, which was an attractive gap, because if we measure this move, we can see that this is about a 14% gap just to that purple level. That's a smaller time frame, 239. So from 209 to 239, I will be watching that area. So I have alerts set on this one, and I'm going to be watching if we start to gap up into that area. So I'll go ahead and set an alert on this one as well. And that really will notify me that we're starting to hit that resistance level. And I want to start watching ahead of time. That way I'm prepared and I can really assess these type of conditions to assess what's type of size I want to go out this one with, if at all. So this gap is what I'm thinking is most attractive. And then of course the gap above is a pretty massive gap. If we measure this move on NCPL and we can get this whole gap filled, we're looking at 28%, which I don't believe. I don't want to get my opinion and, let that overshadow the strategy. The strategy is still going to remain the same. So I want to make sure I stick to the strategy rather than my opinion. Yes, I would love to will this thing all the way up to $3 and $3.18. But no, I can't expect that to happen. So I will shave in the profit if I'm in the green to protect myself if I get in this trade over 247 and of course 250 being the mental level. So 209, 250 area, those are the two areas that I think are going to be most important with these two gaps. Above that, we have a cluster of resistance up here at 318 to 335. Above the 335, we do have a gap up to about $4, which is the mental level, 350 and then $4, and then 444 and 450 up top. So that's NCPL. We'll be watching this one. Other than that, I don't see anything really sticking out. I was going over HOLO, HOLO this morning with our team. Was really hoping to see this thing get back over these highs here at the 350 area. We never got back up to that area. So for me, it was a no trade. I ended up taking a small loss. I think I lost like $10 on this thing in the pre-market. Gave it a small chance with this lacking volume, and really didn't get the look that I was going for. I was looking for it to hold over that 350 level. As soon as it closes below 350, for me, that's room for concern, and that's when I bail on my trade. So again, took a very small trade on this one, lost about $10 this morning, no big deal, but was really hoping for continuation. I wanted to get over 350 and grind into the half and whole dollar levels. If it gets above 350 tomorrow, I will be watching, but we'll keep in mind that's just a mental level, not a major weighted level on my chart. And I want to see it close over 350, hold that level, then $4 and 404, hold that level, and then we have a pretty large gap as well on HOLO all the way up to 615 with half and whole dollar in between, of course. So I will be watching that on HOLO. Another one to watch is going to be INAB, which of course was a major mover this morning. And I posted a video on this one earlier in the day where we mentioned that the close over the 171 level is what we were looking for. And this is that level here, 171, 175. Closed above, held that level, never closed back below. And as we can see, it went up about 100 and I believe 150% from that level. So we can see this was the call out and the close above, and this was the high of day. Now, what I'm looking for tomorrow is for it to break above these highs here in INAB. I want to see it get above this major level above, and of course that 393. So if I zoom in on these levels, So it doesn't look like such a mess. If I'm looking for bullish momentum and I'm looking for it to get up to these levels above, then it's going to have to first close over these major resistance levels first. So I have, of course, 356, 367, but again, we hit a high of 395 over here on this wick and this candle. So for that reason, I'll be looking for a close over this 406 before I really deem this as bullish. So let me go ahead and set an alert right here. So I have an alert set now at 393. So if we get above that level, 393, and we can hold, then 406 is where I'll be watching for a possible trade. It has to close above 406 and then hold that level. And of course, the conditions leading into this trade will make a huge difference. So close above 406, hold that level, look for a move to 433, close above 433, move to 448, and then we start to move up into the 450 mental level, 466, a cluster of resistance, and then I have a large gap from 482 all the way to 570 with, of course, half and whole dollar in between. Once we get above 570, I'm looking at $6, then 650 and 654. So major moves on INAB if we can get into those gaps. So I have alert set. Again, we'll be watching if we can get over that 406 level. That's on INAB. So that's it for me, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the pre-market. Thanks.